Hello, welcome to this podcast. Today, let's look into the mind and also into this mechanism called I. And are any of these really problems, the I or the mind? We experience how we make ourselves unhappy by believing in the suggestions and stories which are running through our head, right? And we can learn to discern the difference between what is useful for practical life that this mind knows and suggests, and what is simply nonsense, what is lies about ourselves. Then we can use the mind for what it is, and that is a brilliant, wonderful biocomputer. It operates pretty much like a computer. It has an operating system that is built in, we're born with it. It has pre-installed software that is running things in the body. And then by and by, a lot of other software is uploaded through listening, through hearing it. And that part of software contains malware, and it contains spam, and it contains a lot of stuff that we don't actually need. But on the whole, mind is a great computer with enormous capacities. One of the capacities is that it installs a thought that is capable to act as if it was a person and controls the other thought object. That thought that it installs, that controls the other thought objects, is called I. And the feeling that it creates around it gives us an identity with which we are identified. Nobody is born with an I. Have you ever thought about that? Nobody's born with that. Little children don't have a sense of I. And even when they start talking, they talk about themselves, often in the third person. I can remember doing that. And then I had to learn that I word. No, you don't say your name and what you want, you say I want. And that was a bit awkward to me. Why would I say I when my name is Gitte? That was short for Brigitte, which is how my family called me. And so we learn I as a word, and then slowly, some kind of feeling evolves around that. And that feeling is created by mainly negative experiences, by experiences of saying no, by experiences of not getting what we want, and feeling alone opposite all the others that are there. And that creates that subjective sense of I. I am a separate individual entity, which is in a way true, and in another way it isn't. And the secret is already hidden in the word individual, because that means something like not dividable. It can't be divided. The individual, that extraordinary and unique individual, is also not dividable, not separable from the whole. It's both. It's the dewdrop in the ocean, And the dewdrop has a defined shape, and it's also the ocean. It's both the oneness and the individual personal consciousness. And that is what is so confusing for a while in our lives, that we believe we are the limited small version of the I, me, mine story. And that arises all sorts of ideas about ourselves, about how we are, and especially how we should be and had to be, but are not. And that is what creates all of suffering, is trying to be different from who you are as a wholeness, as a oneness, and also how you are as a programmed individual with certain features, and all the features we have, all of them, including the bad habits and the misleading ideas and the lesser than nice attributes and the mistakes we make, all of the features we go through in life, including trauma, including pain and suffering, they all belong to the programming that this individual Buddha soul potential needs in order to go through and recognize its own divine nature. Everything is a door, is a key, is an opportunity for us to explore. Oh, I'm also this and I'm also that. And to consciously embrace that and be that as well. Not to analyze the unwanted parts and put them on a pile of that has to change and that has to change. That's a terror. And the only thing that really has to change is the one that wants to change. We don't need to change. We need to embrace and transcend our programming, our how we are, in order to live who we are, the oneness, the Buddha nature, the divinity, the higher self, whatever you like to call it. So the how we are is as important, and especially the stuff that you don't like about yourself. That's the best doors to walk through. And maybe you can hear it in my voice. That is really the path I have been walking and still walk. And that is where my passion is in supporting and helping and guiding, if that's wanted, to use these doors and to encounter what's behind them, rather than saying, oh, there's a bad sign written on that door, something like anger, frustration, impulsiveness, whatever it is, the qualities that you don't like about yourself, and use the doors and explore and find out and be that too. All right, good luck with the journey, and thank you for listening. That's it for today.